We've heard from Rasmus Dahlin at the NHL Combine. Now it's time to see him put in some work. Let's head over to Harbor Center, where Greg Vorse has been all morning long to watch Dahlin go through the drills at the Combine. Greg, flat out, how did the kid look out there?
I'm going to be honest with you, John. He looks smooth. He looks like he does on the ice. He looked like he belonged. He looked like an athlete. Kind of skinny, but you'll expect that from an 18-year-old. But just like when he's on the ice, it looked effortless, to be honest with you. Now, it's hard to kind of compare numbers from this class to past guys like Casey Middlestat or Jack Eichel, as they have changed how some of the stuff is done. The Wingate's now 4 stages instead of 3. Bench press using resistance bands, so it's changed a little bit, but it just looked easy to him. It looked like everything was just effortless, like an athlete going through their trials. The biggest thing that didn't look effortless, he really gave it everything he had, that being Rasmus Dahlin on the Wingate. Put it all out there. You can see in the video, he was spent when that was done, but that's what you want from your top flight defenseman, a kid that's going to put it all out there. I can tell you all you want. Here's his words about how his combine went.
Yeah, it was fun. It was kind of hard, but yeah, most of the time it just was fun. The Wingate, it was pretty tough. So yeah, I'm glad I already done it. I'm gonna go back home to Sweden. Yeah, meet my family and working out with Frölunda. Then come back to the draft.
And John, Rasmus Dahlin saying there he's going to go back to Frölunda with the team he is with the Swedish Hockey League. But before that, the NHL going to kind of parade him around. He'll be at the Stanley Cup final game coming up in D.C. So a lot for this kid to do coming up before he does get to that draft on June 22nd.
All right, Greg, you've had the opportunity to talk with Dahlin not once but twice, on top of seeing him go through the drills. Give me an opportunity and an inside look on the personality of the kid that we now assume will be the Sabres' first overall pick.
He's a little quiet, John, but that could honestly be the language. You know, but he's thoughtful. Not quite Ryan Miller thoughtful, where you're going to get this 15-second pause before he gives you his answer, but there is some insight in him. There's some wisdom in him. He wants to tell you what he really feels, so he takes that time to really explain his answers. You could see when you asked him stuff that really got his attention that he took that time. When I asked him about playing with a young team yesterday, he took time to really think about what that meant to play with a young team. That's something he told me he looks forward to. So this is a thoughtful kid we're getting here. I think as far as the media and fans are concerned, we're going to get a kid that we really like for the next 10 or 12 years when it comes to his brains on and off the ice.
Greg, obviously Buffalo is the place that he is expected to spend at least the early portion of his career. How much did he delve into his inner workings with Phil Housley and Jason Botterill, and just being in the city that will soon be his new home?
He has not met with Phil Housley yet, but he did tell me that he's watched the Hall of Famer on YouTube and different places to see his game. He met with Jason Botterill. He actually toured the facilities here at Harbor Center and over at KeyBank Center with Jason Botterill, so that was part of his interview process. He said he finally tried chicken wings for the first time, talked about going to the Anchor Bar. They're a little spicy for him, so maybe next time he goes with mild, but he really has... Well, he won't talk about being a member of the Sabres. He understands this is where he's going to be playing for the next 10 or 12 years.
Great stuff out there, Greg. That is Greg Vorse covering the NHL Combine over at Harbor Center. He'll have much more as we lead up to the draft at the end of the month. Well, we'll keep hearing from Dahlin and the conversation here on Spectrum News in our next half an hour, as Ted Goldberg talking with some of Dahlin's former teammates who also happen to be in town for the Combine. So tune back in less than 30 minutes for another check of Spectrum News Sports.